I feel like this cancer diagnosis has opened my eyes to appreciating life more because we are not promised old age. I had been having issues with my stomach. It felt like a stomach ulcer. Never had issues with it before. My husband and I were out celebrating his birthday and my birthday, 34, and he was turning 35. And I had a drink and some food, and I got really sick from it. And I told him I think I need to go to the doctor. And he's a paramedic, so I mentioned to him I noticed black stool a couple weeks before, and he said maybe that's something you should get checked out. Scheduled it with our primary doctor, and he sent me in for blood work. Came back and he's like, you're severely anemic. Let's go ahead and send you for an endoscopy, colonoscopy. You probably have a stomach ulcer. I'm going to go ahead and start you on medications for that. So he did. I went to do that test, and the doctor pathologist said, hey, I think you might have a tumor in there. Could be an open ulcer, not 100% sure. I did a biopsy of it, should get results back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks of business days, and I got the call. He said, you have a type of cancer, not sure what type of cancer it is, but you are going to be referred out to an oncologist, should get results here in a couple weeks. You get diagnosed with cancer at 34, and it's like, what the heck? Like, this is crazy. I was in total shock for the first couple weeks. I was in my feelings, crying all the time, feeling sorry for myself. I have 3 boys, a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And I feel like if it wasn't for them, this outcome would be completely different the way I feel about this. They're the biggest drive for me. I sucked it up and quit crying, feeling bad for myself because I could see the way that I was acting was affecting them. And after that 2 weeks, I just decided I'm not going to live like this anymore. I'm going to fight hard. We immediately scheduled a staging surgery, and I had that, and they told me it'd be a couple of days before we found out what type of cancer it was and what stage I was sitting at. Ended up being a poorly differentiated adenocarcinoma with singlet ring cells, and they staged me at 3. They told me that we would immediately be starting chemotherapy. I was going to do 8 rounds of FLOT. That started on June 24th. I did 4 rounds of FLOT, and then I did the total gastrectomy. And then they came back and told me that the cancer was touching the bottom of my esophagus when they had originally removed my stomach. And I would need to start a total of 41 rounds of chemo and then 33 rounds of radiation. But they wanted to give me time to heal from my total gastrectomy before they started that. So they were thinking sometime in January. But I did not want to do that. I told them I want to start it immediately. I felt like I was strong enough to handle it. I had got sick right after my total gastrectomy and my port and delayed treatment for a few weeks. And I strongly feel like when I waited that long, my cancer moved into my lymphatic channel, and I did not want to take a chance of waiting anymore. So I was very persistent. I drove my oncologist nuts because I was not waiting for treatment. They said, enjoy the holidays, but I was persistent, and they eventually just started it right away. It was rough. It was a total of 41 rounds of chemo and 33 rounds of radiation, but we did it. Now we're just kind of in limbo land waiting to make sure that cancer's not going. I go every 3 months to do scans, and we're just keeping an eye on it. I'm endlessly grateful for my community. They have been a strong pillar in all of this.
September 6th is our first home game, and we want everybody to wear purple for Courtney.
They've shown my kids and us so much love in so many ways, and I'm just so grateful for them. My sister started this Conquer Cancer with Courtney thing, and our whole community has shown up for us. They did tons of fundraisers. My sister put on this big event. Kind of just became this whole big outpouring of love for my family. From the very beginning of it, I have always been told standard care. Every doctor has told me standard care is the right care. And something that I've learned through this entire journey is standard care isn't always the right care. Just because one doctor says something doesn't mean that's what you should settle with. Do your homework, do your research, know what's going on with your healthcare, know your treatment options. Every time somebody comes up to me and talks to me about the questions, the embarrassing things they don't want to go to their doctor about. And unfortunately, that's kind of how my story was. It was embarrassing in the beginning, and I didn't want to go. I canceled 2 appointments, and my husband and my mother were very adamant about me going to that doctor, but I did not want to go talk to a doctor about what my symptoms were. So I feel like God has given me this vulnerability, this voice to tell others just how precious life is. And you have to be an advocate for yourself and your health care. Never, ever settle for standard care. Ask them embarrassing, awkward questions. And I did the genetics testing and everything, and I came out negative for all of it. They told me that I was in the 3%. 97% was genetics and 3% was environmental. I know immunotherapies, a lot of those stomach cancer things that the FDA and studies are finding is for people with the genetics, but I am negative for genetics. So it'd be great if they did more research on that, like more treatment options for us. Going to the future, I want to beat this cancer. I want to be that rare person that beats it. They told me if I could go 5 years without any new tumor growth, any cancer findings of anything, then I have less than 1% of this cancer coming back. And I so strongly every 3 months hope and pray that it's going to be nothing new. We're going to be negative for everything. There's no cancer to find. And once I hit that 5-year mark, I am going to celebrate.